Hello, everybody! My name is Poky, and I am here again with another episode of Steins Gate Zero. And when we last left off, Rintaro here, he was feeling pretty depressed because he killed his time girlfriend. Anyways, we're gonna continue where we left off, and hopefully, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up too high, but hopefully of better quality this time. Alright. Victor Condré University, USA, Brain Science Institute. I looked at the card, and then at her, then back at the card. How did I know I was gonna say that? Then I looked at her again. I finally realized. Oh, so that's it. Where did you find this card? Thanks for bringing it back, I have a feeling. I've done that 3 times already, too. Aw. Wait, is she smiling? That's like a little goofy smile. Look at that. It looks like, I don't know, that's like the perfect, like, I don't know, it looks like a smiley face. I feel like I like this girl already. This is crazy. She sighed and showed me another card. This one was a photo ID from Victor Condré University. Huh? What? It was the same ID I'd seen Kurisu holding before on another world line. The photo on the card, yeah, that was definitely her. Maho Hiyajo. That's my name, Maho Hiyajo. I'll say it to you now because nobody's ever been able to read it right. Not in Japanese or English. And you're from Victor Condré University Middle School? Oh shoot, I left the voices on. I left the voices on. Oh no. Wait, they should be all. Oh, come on, I just left one on. Now I gotta, where's the, I gotta find the right button. Come on, come on. There it is. Okay. Glad that's fixed. That was weird. Stop messing around. Universities don't have middle schools. That's true. Then you skipped a bunch of grades. Unlike Japan, it wasn't uncommon for Americans to skip grades. Kurisu had made it to university at age 17. But still, a girl this young working in a university lab. Can I ask you something? Sure. You're feeling pretty shocked right now, right? Let me guess, a small child like this, I can't believe it, right? Or are you one of the she must be amazing to be able to do that at her age types? Ha! Ha ha! She got me. Look here, closely. The girl, Maho Hiyajo, pointed to part of the idea with her slender fingers. She was born in 1989, and it was 2010, so let's do a little math here. You're 21 years old. 21 years old. You gotta be kidding. In other words, in other words, I gotta differentiate voices. This is gonna kill me. But I'll do my best. In other words, I'm an adult woman. I'm not in middle school, and of course, not in elementary school or daycare either. And then she puffed out her chest. There wasn't much to see, but I can imagine her saying, they look bigger when I'm not wearing clothes. They're huge. Wow. What's that look supposed to mean? Oh no, sorry, I apologize. I couldn't believe it. She was older than me. Oh, I just saw it like pop up there. If Daru was here, he'd be dancing around screaming, "Legal lolly for the win!" Oh my gosh. I'm like, it's all flooding back what I loved about this game, about Steins Gate. It doesn't matter, I guess. I get the same everything all around the world, no matter where I go. Yeah, I'm sure. Did you say something? No, I didn't. I got this, like, big, dumb, goofy smile on my face. Like hers. Except right now she's frowning. But, I don't know. It's, like, weird. Her mouth is, like... It's, like, perfectly circular, but not circular. You know what I mean. Still the Brain Science Institute? That's where Kurisu worked. I'm seeing a whole bunch of connections here. Which means this this person, might know a lot about Kurisu. I held back the impulse to start badgering her with questions. I looked at the pamphlet with the seminar schedules. Victor Condria's lecture was the last one for the day, and was clearly intended to be the biggest. Was this Maho Hiajo girl going to give a lecture? Just like Kurisu had done at the summer convention? No, wait, that's wrong. That never happened. Kurisu Makise never gave any lectures over the summer. That happened in the Alpha World Line. In the world line I inhabited now, before the summer convention, she'd already... Are you giving the lecture today? No, I'm here as an assistant. Oh, and translator, too. I looked at the pamphlet again and saw that the lecturer was a man named Alexis Leskinen. A professor at Victor Condria University and the chief researcher of the Brain Science Institute. I wish they would just call it neuroscience. Like, brain science. It sounds weird. The topic is the artificial intelligence revolution. Revolution, huh? Yeah, sounds interesting. Oh, that, like, technology is people thing? Hold on. Click on it. Technology is people, yeah. While I'm at it, uh-oh. Where's the other one? For the win. Net slang, used to express excitement about a positive event or experience. Abbreviated FTW. Legal lolly refers to a character in anime or manga who appears to be no older than an elementary schooler, but is in fact over the legal age of 20. Is Japan's legal age 20? For some reason I thought their legal age was, like, less than here in America. I don't know. Or maybe there's just something else I'm missing. Wow, this is a lot of things. Okay, let's keep going. If you've got the time, I'd love for you to come listen. I will! Oh, the staff room, right? I lead Maho over to the elevator hall and showed her where the staff room was. Thanks. I had no reason to hang around her any further. I said goodbye and was just about to turn around. Just then, the elevator opened. A woman emerged. The instant I saw her face, every hair on my body stood on end. I'm scared to press the A button, guys. Let's go for it. Oh my gosh, no! Not her again. I'm scared. Also, what is she wearing? Jeez. I mean, like, it doesn't look bad or anything. But it surprised me. Even, like, seeing... I knew it had to be someone, like... I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Moeka? Kiryu! It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. Wait, it was all I... What? It was all I could do to keep... Calm down. This is the beta world line. Mayuri is alive. Moeka's not going to kill her. Oh my gosh. Our eyes met. The eyes on the other side of her glasses were as dead as ever, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. I frantically averted my gaze before she realized something was wrong. She tilted her head for a second, but quickly lost interest in me and turned toward Maho. Whoa. This game just looks crazy. Like, the backgrounds are nothing special, but just seeing these two new sprites, they even have back sprites that are really detailed. I just really like the Steins Gate art style. You're with the magazine, right? I'm here about that interview. Even in this world line, Moeka still only spoke in faint whispers. Oh, I gotta whisper. Dr. Leskinen isn't here yet. That name. It may be a minute. Okay. If you want, I can go over the system until he gets here. Thank you. The two of them disappeared into the staff room. As I watched them leave, I took a deep breath. I tried to calm down, but it wasn't working. Sorry, I just made a... No, I gotta... stop that. Moeka Kiryu. Is it going to be you again? It was a terrible feeling, like a cold finger tracing the wounds in my heart. That night, when the terrorist threat shut down all the trains in Akihabara. That awful night when I... Sorry about that. Something just happened. I've cut that out post-production. Post-production during editing. Alright, are you going to do it again here? Oh. Or was I just imagining things? Was she just a magazine reporter now, instead of a CERN rounder? No, even if Moeka was a rounder, we had nothing to do with CERN anymore. CERN wouldn't be watching us. Ha! I took another deep breath, grabbed some of the anxiety meds in my pocket, and swallowed them down with some mineral water I bought ahead of time. It would take 15 minutes for them to kick in. Those 15 minutes were always pretty rough. Hey, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. It was just my brother. It would take 15 minutes for them to kick in. Those 15 minutes were always pretty rough. Oh, jeez. I laughed at myself a little and sat down on one of the reception desk's chairs. Whoa. Quick saved. The table was filled with leaflets, pamphlets, and other things for the attendees. My eyes wandered to one of the pamphlets. Nakabachi Theory and the Genealogy of Pseudoscience. The pamphlet was for Professor Izaki's seminar, Nakabachi Theory, the paper he'd announced in Russia. That paper held the key to creating a real time machine. On that day, July 28th, Nakabachi had stolen the paper from Kurisu, his own daughter, and left with it. I knew that. Only Nakabachi and I knew that. I flipped through the pamphlet. It was a brief introduction to the many forms of pseudoscience and fake scientific discoveries that had emerged since the start of the 20th century. On its own, it did make for interesting reading. And at the end of the pamphlet, Nakabachi Theory was introduced as nothing more than another entry in that long list of fakes. So Dr. Nakabachi's time machine theory had been completely ignored by the academic world. All the glory, fame, and power he'd wanted so badly that he was willing to get rid of his own daughter, he didn't get any of it. Well, I guess that's sorta good, but like, on the other hand, it's like none of it actually meant anything. I was a bit confused for a second there, like describing this theory as pseudoscience, but then I realized that things didn't turn so well for Nakabachi. And I'd heard rumors that after the announcement, he'd been imprisoned in a Russian lab. To make it even funnier, he thought he was getting a VIP treatment. That is pretty funny. For a short time, there were essays and interviews in bogus academic journals. Even there, it was obvious it had all gone to his head. The ironic thing was that Nakabashi theory was completely correct and completely revolutionary. Yeah. The Russian government was worried about it leaking, and the SVR was doing everything it could to keep it under wraps. I guess I'll check those out. I'll start with CERN. Fictional, the European Laboratory for Nuclear Research. Wait, for research nuclear, you mean? CERN, however, is not. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I look stupid. CERN, however, is not an acronym for, because it would have said ELNR. It is not an acronym for this group. It comes from the French Société Européenne de Recherche Nucléaire. I don't speak that. European Society for Nuclear Research. Its predecessor group. The lab consists of the world's largest particle accelerator on the outskirts of Geneva, Switzerland. It crosses the border between France and Switzerland, and there is a bank, library, post office, and living quarters located on the grounds. Research teams from all over the world, but particularly the 19 countries of Europe, gather here to perform experiments in elementary particle physics. Several thousand people work at CERN. Rounder. Fictional. An unofficial group that works for CERN. It is, in theory, an independent group that does technology research. Rounders are deployed all over the world, and their exact numbers are unknown. Their real objective is to recover the IBM 5100 5100s, the only machines capable of hacking CERN's hidden database, as well as crushing any attempts at time machine research around the world and taking the scientists back to work for CERN. They are, in essence, mercenaries who are capable of using force if necessary. Some of the members on the bottom rung do their work without ever meeting another rounder face to face. And we know that Moeka is one of them. From the last game. Ugh, I'm getting PTSD just thinking about it. SVR, the Service of the External Reconnaissance of the Russian Federation, aka SVR, Russia's external intelligence agency. Its HQ is in Yasenovo in southern Moscow. After the old Soviet Committee for State Security, KGB, was disbanded, the new SVR was modeled after KGB's first directorate. There are other intelligence agencies in Russia as well, such as the Main Intelligence Directorate, GRU, and the Federal Security Service, FSB. Each of them has their own territory and specialization. And that is not fictional, apparently. I should probably know about that, but I don't. But under the surface, there was a full-scale information war beginning over the paper. The time traveler from 2036, John Teeter, had told me so, which meant it had to be true. And I'll just read that. John Teeter. In November 2000, a man appeared on an American message board claiming to be a time traveler from the year 2036. This became an internet phenomenon that inspired a storm of questions and debate. The man called himself John Teeter and published partial pictures of the manual for his time machine, as well as an explanation for how it... I just lost my place for no reason. An explanation for how it operated. He also made clear what would happen in the near future, how interfering with the timeline worked, and the principles behind the multiverse and parallel worlds, as well as timelines and world lines. And then, 4 months after his appearance, he left a final message saying that he'd completed his mission and would be returning to this world. Then he vanished for good. And that's what's her name? I should know it, but I don't. Was World War III really going to happen? There's no point in thinking about it. Just a little more before the drugs kicked in. I closed my eyes. Whoa. Oh, wait. Is that a... Wait, what do I do? There's a thing. Okay. The convention was going well. I still feel like I don't know what that thing. There's a speech bubble thing next to November 23rd, and I wish I knew how to. Oh, there it is. Rin, Tuturu Okurin, are things going okay with Mr. Seminar? Mr. Seminar. Oh. Yuki Amane. Wait. No. Oh. There's Suzuha. That's John Teeter. I know that. Wallpaper setting. Ooh, I can change the wallpaper on my device. Wow. This is so cool. I'm going with that one. Ring. How do I reply to this? I'm gonna figure this out. Am I just not able to... Oh, I was a bit confused. She sent that a while ago, and now she just sent, like... Is that a custom emoji she just sent me? That is cool. I wish I knew how to reply. I probably can't, though. After Professor Izaki's seminar, most of the students from my university went home, but I killed some time and came back. I wanted to hear the Victor Condria lecture. I headed to the hall with plenty of time to spare and saw Maho Hiyajo coming from the staff room. Ooh, oh my gosh, who is that guy? He's got a weird face. She was with a very tall foreigner. Was that Alexis Leskinen? Got a killer name, dude. It didn't seem like an American name, but maybe he was an immigrant like Kurisu, or at least descended from one. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the looks on their faces were so serious that I couldn't help but listen. Since they were both speaking in English, I could barely make out any of it, but I could tell from their voices that it wasn't a pleasant chat. Huh? Wait, did I just hear the word Makise? I hated the fact that I couldn't speak English. If I'd known this was going to happen, I would have gone to an English school. The two of them walked into the waiting room for lectures, which it was located right next to the UPX theater. I put together the few fragments I was able to understand. Fire at Kurisu's house. Mrs. Makise is alright. Robbery. The police called off the investigation. Why was the FBI there? It doesn't make sense. I know what the FBI is. I'll look at that later, though. I think that's what they were saying. Kurisu's house? Do they mean where she lived in America? Her mother should still live in America. Is that where the fire was? And then words like robbery and the investigation was called off. I really wanted to know more. I stood there and worried until it was time for the lecture to begin. I really hope that we get a chance, because, I hope this isn't one of those instances where the main character just avoids talking about what I want to talk about with the characters. After this lecture is over, I really want to just talk to that Maho character and just be like, hey, you know anything about Kurisu? What time is it? Yeah, I'll just go a little further. I stood there and worried until it was time to close. With nothing else to do, I went inside the theater. Ooh. I could tell earlier by looking at the size of the crowds going inside, but it was a very high-energy crowd. The atmosphere was clearly different than Izaki's seminar, which was mostly students there for credit. The place was nearly full with a crowd of scientists and people who wanted to learn about cutting-edge technology. Victor Condria's researchers had published a slate of papers in Science recently, and had gotten a lot of media attention. Maybe that was why. Were there any empty seats? I found a single open seat at the edge. Found a single empty seat. Wait, what? What just happened? Did I do some... I found a single open seat at the edge. I found a single empty seat at the edge. But when I looked at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. Oh man. This is gonna be awkward. You killed my friend in another timeline. Do you mind if I take this seat? You again? Moeka Kiryu was there. She was speaking to no one, just typing endlessly into her phone. I'd once named her Shining Finger because of her incredible typing speed, and she was as fast as ever. Who was she talking to? I didn't even want to imagine. I quickly turned away and looked for another seat. Dr. Leskinen reached the podium almost the exact instant I sat down. Whoa. There was a huge wave of applause! Yeah! Woohoo! Yeah. But when they saw the tiny little girl come up next to him, the applause faded into confused murmurs. Maho must have expected this. Her expression didn't change in the slightest as she stood next to the professor. And I'm thinking I'll just read that FBI thing, and then I might just end the video there. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, an American police organization. It is attached to the Department of Justice and handles crimes that occur on American soil. There are approximately 30,000 people who work for the FBI. When crimes take place involving a wide area in multiple states, the FBI investigates under federal law. Wow. I'll just go a little bit further. I'm excited to see where this is going. In fact, when she took the microphone from the professor and looked around the theater, she looked like she belonged there. Ladies and gentlemen. First, Dr. Leskinen began to speak in English. When he made eye contact with Maho, she began to interpret. Everyone, thank you for coming to my seminar. My name is Alexis Leskinen, and I am with Victor Kondria University's Brain Science Institute. My specialty is brain signal processing systems and artificial intelligence theory. And I am his assistant, Maho Hyajo. I'm also a researcher at the Institute, working under the professor. I'm glad to meet you all. The audience started murmuring again. That was the same way I responded when I met her. Well, that'll happen, yeah. I'd like to get right into it by introducing some of the cutting-edge research we're doing. The topic we're discussing today is the artificial intelligence revolution, but I think the system we're going to demonstrate today goes beyond anything you've ever imagined. Dr. Leskinen stood in front of the laptop that had been placed on the podium and started to type. This computer is linked to one of the supercomputers in our lab. Oh, don't turn on the projector just yet. One of the staffers was about to display the laptop screen on the front projector. Some kind of important program must have been booting up because Maho Hyajo stopped them. Sorry, this stuff isn't complete yet. The screen's filled with programs that aren't very pretty to look at. I'd rather let you see me naked than let you see these lousy programs. If there are any engineers in the audience today, you know what I'm talking about, right? I like this little freaking laugh track. Oh my gosh. I didn't expect that. Some of the audience got the professor's joke and laughed. What was there to get? Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is, but I am, like, in love with this character right now. Some of the audience got the professor's joke and laughed. While it's booting up, I'll go over the basic idea of the system. There's another projector in the center of the stage. A diagram appeared on its screen, and at the top of the diagram was a Japanese translation for the general audience. An analysis of neural pulse signals relating to memories stored in the temporal lobe. Huh? I knew that title well. In fact, I was sure I could never forget it. It was the title of an essay written by a 17-year-old genius and published in Science. She had completely analyzed the nerve impulse patterns that govern human memory and used that to digitize the memories themselves into data. Did these guys, like, steal her theory or something? I mean, like, probably not, because it's just, like, famous or something. I don't know. I'm seeing all these connections, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Let's check out the tips. Artificial intelligence, often shortened to AI. There have been many different definitions for the word since its creation. For example, some use it to refer to control systems with self-directed learning capability, while others use it to refer to programs whose thought routines mirror a human. Temporal cortex, a part of the cerebrum located at the side of the brain. It controls memory, judgment, emotional restraint, hearing, and more. It's also used for accessing the hippocampus, which is on the edge of the cerebrum. Nerve pulse, an electrical signal that travels through a human's nerve cells. It's used to quickly spread information between cells. Alright. And she had used that to invent the time leap machine right in front of my eyes. Though none of that had actually happened anymore. This paper appeared in Science, so I'm sure some of you have seen it before. This theory was proposed and finalized by a brilliant Japanese member of our team. Oh my gosh. Human memories are... I'm so excited about... Just in this game, and I know, like, I'm rambling about it, but, like, I'm so excited about this game. Human memories are stored in the series... I know last time I was talking about how I was all nervous because I don't know what's going to pop up. I'm just, like, excited in general. Human memories are stored in the cerebral cortex, particularly the temporal lobe. They're a lot like flash memory. The part of the brain that reads and writes this flash memory is called the hippocampal gyrus. Dr. Leskinen pointed to the diagrams of the brain and hippocampus on screen. The brain functions by sending electrical signals between cells called neurons. Memories are actually just the transmission of these electrical signals, and it's the hippocampal gyrus that controls them. In other words, memories are created by passing electrical signals in and out of the hippocampal gyrus. So, Kurisu Makise, oh my god, the Japanese scientist who wrote this paper, Miss Makise came up with an idea. Electrical signal patterns, the cerebral cortex. What's going on? Maho started to have trouble with her interpreting. She was getting confused. No matter how good you were with languages, interpreting for a long period of time had to be difficult. I'd once read an article on the internet that said even a professional can't do it for more than 20 minutes. International conferences and live broadcasts from overseas were actually handled by a team of people switching off. Or maybe, was she having trouble because Kurisu's name came up? Dr. Leskinen saw that she was having trouble and cut himself off. I'm sorry, Miss Makise focused on the pattern of electrical signals going in and out of the hippocampal gyrus. By analyzing the pattern, she was able to get complete data on which memory in the cerebral cortex it responded to. This created the basic theory that lets us take the vague analog thing we call memories and turn it into a digital combination of electrical signals. The result was her paper, which appeared in Science. And right now, our team is using that theory to create a system to turn a person's memories into digital data. A wave of whispers swept across the theater. Which means... I've got this, like, feeling that Kurisu is gonna be, like, an AI in this game. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Alright. I I think that's enough for this episode of Steins Gate Zero. I've been recording for a little while. I mean, not like a long time, but I don't want my computer to turn off on me by overheating. So I'm gonna end this episode of Steins Gate Zero here, and I'm getting really excited to see what's gonna happen next. And I'll just see you guys next time. Bye!